DC and Marvel Comics are the two hegemons of the graphic novel world, and throughout the decades they've torn fans down the middle over which they believe has the superior stories, lore, characters, etc. But I'm here today to explain why I personally believe that DC Comics is the better company, and hopefully I can convince one or two of you while I'm at it. So starting off with the originals, this is a point I'm very passionate about, and it's that DC is the creator of most of the beloved Marvel superheroes that we know and love today. And I don't mean that they had the same writers, I'm talking about the fact they had nearly every single one of the Marvel superheroes you can think of. They're originally DC heroes and villains, but Marvel just took them and changed them up a bit. And that's perfectly normal for companies to glean and gather inspiration from one another, but this is a common and perpetual trend with Marvel Comics, and it carries on to this day. There's Killer Croc and the Lizard, Tarantula and Spider-Man, Green Arrow and Hawkeye, The Shield and Captain America, and this is just one reason why I believe DC is superior. And another thing I've always found rather fascinating is the two leading teams of each universe. On one hand, there's DC's Justice League of America, and on the other, we have Marvel's Avengers. And now I'll admit, I love reading stories about both. There is one noticeable difference which I pick up on, and that's the fact that the majority of the Avengers are just regular human beings with no additional superpowers to make them extraordinary or superhuman. There's Nick Fury leading the group, the two main characters of the Avengers, there's Captain America and Iron Man, Black Widow and Hawkeye. There's too many people who are just humans who are good at shooting, good at building, above average strength. Nothing extraordinary to take the reader into another world where the super actually means super. The whole purpose of comics is to make the reader immerse him or herself into a world of things that are impossible and only dreams away, so that they can escape the monotonous, mundane lives that we live in. But it's hard to do so when most of the characters we know and love are just regular people like you and me who have abilities that anyone can acquire given enough time and practice. There's not much excitement and wonder to it all when we see Captain America throwing his shield compared to Superman holding a building from collapsing. While I admit DC has regular human characters in their roster, i.e. Batman, Green Arrow and a few others, the vast majority are superhumans from out of their galaxy, rich in lore and stories from their own worlds, just as ensorceling and enchanting as their human counterparts. All these are just some of the reasons why I believe DC Comics triumphs over Marvel Comics. Whilst I enjoy and grew up on both, the original writing and superior ingenuity is indubitably evident when it comes to these two comic brands.